Afternoon. How are you guys? Hey, the room feels a little bit heavy. Can we loosen up? How are you guys?
We're good.
Please don't make me shy and scared. My name is Michael Rathebe. I'm from Soweto, Johannesburg. As they alluded, my topic today, or the title that I thought of, was The New 1976, Transforming Soweto's Economy Through Bitcoin Education. I'm from Soweto, and having coming from Soweto, I grew up under the information about 1976 and what transpired there. So the question, therefore, is why the new 1976? Majority of people, when they hear about 1976, they think about youth uprising, youth resistance against a political educational regime, and also a turning point in politics, because there was political oppression. Therefore then, what transpired? This year will be marking 50th anniversary of 1976. But things are still the same. Why do I say so? Today's Soweto's youth is faced with a different kind of struggle. Not political oppression, but financial exclusion. Soweto, as I've written, has about 1.7 million people. Soweto is growing. We are developing informal settlements. We have about more than 38 suburbs. But the youth in Soweto, the struggle that they are faced with, unemployment in South Africa is ranging at, I think, 46%. And prevailing so is that the youth are the most ones suffering from that aspect. Now, what does, because 1976, as you can see on the pictures, eludes the fact that kids were on the street, toy-toying, if you understand the term, against an oppression system. Now, today, what does the modern resistance look like in the modern economy or in the digital economy? These are the economics stats that I managed to find, just to elaborate what exactly is happening. We can see youth between the age of 15 to 35. South Africa classifies people between the age of 35, between 15 and 35 as youth. Unemployment in terms of the economy, as I've just alluded, is sitting at 46%. There is an informal economy happening in Soweto, and not only in Soweto, but mostly in a lot of what we call townships. And that is growing because not that people are doing it of the passion, but people are doing it out of struggle. There's a term or the word used by us, we're saying rachereza. You know, uchereza is just to balance things there and there, just to make a living. So Soweto's youth is faced with that dilemma. Why also an informal settlement is sitting at, not an informal settlement, but the informal economic dominance is sitting at 68%. Now follows, unfortunately, the aspect of limited access to credit. Soweto's youth, they cannot access neither credit nor banking systems or anything else. So now, people, it's not that they are failing. Simply put, is that the system was not designed for them. The system was never designed for us. 1976 was an issue against the system that was oppressive, but the system still pertains to be the same way. It has not changed financially. Now, what are the real barriers for us to access the space? High banking fees. Documentation required for us to have an access to a bank. As I've alluded, limited access to credit. I run a business, but unfortunately, since it's informal, I struggle to register. For me to register that business, there are things I need to do. I don't have that money to pay for. I still have to maintain my SIP account, even if I'm not making 10 million a year. I have to do taxes. When I register a business now, I have to have a tax account. I have to go to the bank to have an account. So going to the bank, it requires me to maintain that bank account. If I cannot maintain that bank account, what happens? I can't close my account, but the fees escalate. They compound until, if I want to close my bank account, I have to pay whatever I owe. Think about that. So now, we can see with the midpoint marker that 55 to 65% of Soweto's working age, people who are working, structurally, economically, they are excluded. How so? If a young person works at ShopRite, Pick and Pay, and they earn a particular salary, they can only meet that. But can they access credit to start anything? The requirements, the barrier to it is high. So if traditional system keeps people out, the real opportunity lies in parallel system. This is where we come in. Why SowetoBTC? SowetoBTC is non-profit, Bitcoin-only initiative. We don't do trading. We are not market speculators. Our focus is strictly about Bitcoin education. Our mission is simple: economic freedom in our lifetime. Our mission is simple: economic freedom in our lifetime, but with knowledge and practical skills. Bitcoin practical skills. What makes us different is that we focus only on Bitcoin education. As I said, price charts is not my forte, but empowering the youth who are coming into the space, empowering people who have no access to finance, to have an understanding about how Bitcoin can help them navigate the pressures, it's my forte. So how exactly does Bitcoin education translate into real economic impact? We run few programs about education. Empowering the youth through Bitcoin education. As you can see, many young people are digitally native, that we know for a fact, but financially excluded. They can't even compete in the global market. They have no knowledge of how to enter that space. So our strategy is to teach Bitcoin to them. What is Bitcoin? How to use Bitcoin? And what opportunities are within the Bitcoin ecosystem? So now, you can see we have hardware wallets, software wallets, and everything. They want to know how to use this system because they are digitally native. We are not focusing on gambling because the aspect of majority of kids or youth who are even receiving social grants of 350, 25% of them, when they receive that money, goes into gambling. They never use it. Or because of depression and everything that is within Soweto, economically, they will end up using that money for booze. It is the fact. They are frustrated. Now, what we do is to try to change the mindset when coming to Bitcoin education, to show them the possibilities of what Bitcoin can do in their lives. So we connect them and make them understand that Bitcoin allows the youth to receive value through and from anyone in the world. That changes their mindset. Now, instead of them thinking about the aspect of being classified as unemployed youth, sitting at 46%, they now can think about becoming global participants. You know, there is freelance work they can do, digital work they can do. Like I teach Tracer Academy programs. So when they come, they are introduced into the global space. I teach my first Bitcoin as part of our programs to the kids. We work with kids from the age of 8 to 14. They come to our program in the after school. They learn about Bitcoin, they learn about financial literacy. We have kids from high school, 15 to 18. Some of them, 2 of them are here with me. From Soweto, you can see them as proof of work. We have adults also who come to the center to learn about Bitcoin. So the value that we give unto people is about education. And so I emphasize the first that ours is Bitcoin-only education. So the youth, as I'm giving this information to them, they are not the only engines of the economy. Small businesses do matter as well. So as much as I spoke that we have informal businesses sitting at around 68%, and the word is ukhereza, you know. So realities is that spaza shops, street vendors, some of the service providers, you can see the guy washing the bins, he's doing community recycling. Even if they can have their bank account personally so, but when they try to open a business account, it's different. They are not registered. Even if they can have a bank account, like for instance, the spaza shop, I can elaborate one thing to you about high fees. There is a concept, ekasi, that people are using. When they have personal business or bank accounts, for them to maintain that, if a customer comes and they want to spend 50 rand, they'll charge an extra 5 rand just to maintain or to have leverage against the banking fees. It's normal. But now what does it do to that business? It makes the customer not wanting to spend in that space. They'll rather go and spend in the retail, in a bigger retail store. Also, what they have as part of their pain points is that they cannot access. Majority of them, unfortunately, their profit margins are slim. When he runs a spaza shop, he wants to buy stock. The first thing, he can't even save that money in a bank account. Why? Because inflation is high. In his thought process is that every amount of money, every income I make, every revenue I make, I have to go and restock quickly. Because he's restocking on what? He can't access discounts. He can only buy on retail price and where he buys. So that is the aspect of what I call financial exclusion, is that they are not able to mitigate the challenges of big business that is coming into Soweto. Now, when coming to Bitcoin infrastructure, what does Bitcoin do for these businesses that I talk about, the small, medium enterprises, local spaza shops? It creates that peer-to-peer. If a business accepts Bitcoin from me, it is peer-to-peer. There's no middleman. The middleman is out. If he has a Lightning wallet, there's no monthly fees to pay. If he has his cold wallet, he's able to send a portion of his profits into that, then he can store it and hodl and wait, if that's the case. If he wants to go buy, we have a system that we have in Soweto with our small merchants that we have onboarded. Because now you can see that I'm talking on the basis of circular economy, that their money can easily trade within us. If he wants to go and restock, he can say, hey guys, I need 250 to go buy some milk for my shop. Can I send and sell the sets? Now he sells the sets within us, within the community. The money circulates within us. He's not going to pay extra fees. Now, and the infrastructure gives him faster, instant settlement, permissionless, and they have control over their transaction and how they store their value. How it works, we have the youth, as I alluded. They do some sports and they come, they attend our classes, we reward them with sets. What do they do with the sets? They go and spend it into the local merchant. Because there's a saying that there's a community that money circulates 7 times before it goes out. In our community in Soweto, money circulates once. Once it comes in, it goes out into big retails. So with circular economy, the money circulates within, at least that they don't take it out. While we're stopping that friction, the kids are able to spend, the businesses are earning. If they want to spend, they can circulate the money within the community. If a service provider wants to buy bread because he has cleaned my beans and I've paid him in Bitcoin, he goes to buy at a spaza shop that is accepting Bitcoin. If the spaza shop wants to buy veggies, they go to another merchant who's selling veggies and buy spinach from her. So we are trying that level aspect. So the real case is that it is happening. This is not theoretical, it is happening. Circular economies are doing it on the ground. We are doing it in Soweto. We've got a few merchants that we have onboarded that are trading in Bitcoin. So what does all this really represent? Bitcoin as a modern economic resistance. Back to the title, 1976. The kids were uprising, placards against a system that was oppressive, economically as well. Today, in 2026, financial literacy is the battleground. By empowering the youth about Bitcoin, it changes their life forever. By them knowing financial literacy, it changes their lives forever. They have a choice. So Bitcoin, as it states, if you're a Bitcoiner, you know that it's here to separate money from state control. If you know that Bitcoin, Andreas Antonopoulos pinned this word which is beautiful, it is what? Rules without rulers. That is Bitcoin. Now, it is for pro-choice. That is what grants us. The kids are not going to struggle because they don't have access to banking. They don't have access. They don't need to ask anyone for permission. They can just download their wallet and instantly start using Bitcoin and paying in Bitcoin. So again, what it gives to the youth, as I spoke about the mindset that they are not going to be job seekers, they are going to be a global participant in the space. It gives them dignity. Bitcoin education turns exclusion into optionality. People choosing a system that works for them. The system is not designed for us, it's not designed for me, but Bitcoin is designed for everyone. So I don't need anyone's permission to participate in the space. In that regard, I've got 3 things in my summary. Education unlocks access. Access enables participation. And participation builds sovereignty, freedom. EFF, not the political one. Economic freedom in our lifetime through education and practicality. So therefore, targeted education can transform systematic hardships into opportunities. What will happen if more communities had the tools to opt into the global economy? Those are some of the questions that we have to ask. Hence, I say the new 1976 isn't about protest in the streets. It is about possibilities that Bitcoin can grant us, and is doing it to the youth in Soweto. I thank you.
I see we've still got some time. Any questions for Michael at the moment? No questions. Okay, Mike, you're off the hook, man. Thank you very much. You got, oh, there we go. You need a mic.
Have you faced any resistance from the community that you're operating in about embracing Bitcoin, some of the spaza shops that you've spoken to? How do you deal with that in a constructive way and engaging them?
Rejections is always the case when you try to empower someone who has been succumbed to either scams and stuff like that. In the immediate community that I'm in Midlands precisely, there are a lot of people who were scammed through crypto. Now, when you come to them and say, hey, there's a possibility for you to change your life, you can see how my life has changed for the past 5 years. They look at you because there's trust issue. They need you to be there continuously. So rejection from businesses, the small businesses, is there because they have the pain point. They are struggling. Every amount they have, they cannot lose it. I can make a simple example about one guy. He had an emergency. He's running a small business. Now, he takes this money to cover family emergencies. His business struggles for the next coming 3 months. His friends has experienced a scam. So I'm coming with a Bitcoin education and then say to him, hey, bruh, it can help your business in this way and that way. The trust issue element arises. That's where the rejection is. But as soon as they get to understand and see the value proposition of Bitcoin, when we have kids who are constantly earning rewards in Bitcoin and coming to them, some will reject, some will accept, and those who have rejected will look before they will act to those who are exactly accepting Bitcoin. So we've been doing it for a period of over 10 months now. But I will say to you, it is growing.
Cool. One more question there for Herman. Let me run over there.
Cool, man. Sorry, I missed the first part of your talk. I was very keen to see it, but I did catch the second half. You were here last year with, I believe, 5 students.
Yes, sir.
And this year you are here with 2 students.
Yes,
Has
sir.
any of the students' parents said that they would like to come and watch or...
The parents did come for our session. Like I said earlier, we are doing Circular Economies sessions. So the parents did attend the sessions, excitedly so, to learn about Bitcoin. They got their certificates. They have not yet said, because there is a financial barrier as well to them, to come into Cape Town. But I think it's something that one can think about and propose to either of the parents.
The reason I asked that is because I think, and I don't know if you touched on this in the first half, if you did, sorry about that, but if you didn't touch on it, maybe just spend 1 or 2 minutes talking about it, because I see the same thing happening sometimes where it sort of reverses the education, where with Bitcoin it turns out being the kids educating the parents rather than the other way around. You oftentimes have, because we also have kids running around the township with these NFC cards, and they're the ones who end up going to their parents and saying, Bitcoin, 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 and then the parents come to us and ask questions, but it's because the kids are the ones who started that conversation. Do you see something similar happening?
Yes, I've seen something similar happen into our program, whereby the kids who come in and earn in sets, they go out and spend. Their parents, some of them skeptical as it is, not sure because of trust, they will play a wait-and-see game. But as soon as the crux happens, one will come. I've got 2 parents who have already came through because their kids did not receive their sets in the phone. Because without me being there, they were able to go to KKS Puzzle Shop and buy. So every time the kids, they had the rewards, I will send it into the parents' phone. Then the parents can easily go expand. But as soon as we integrated the cards, the ball cards, now the cards were with me. Now the parent could not access the money. The parent was forced to come with the child to request an advance. I'll tell you that. They say to me, "Sir, can you give us an advance so that I can go and buy bread for my school tomorrow?" So the parents do come and ask questions. But relatively, because of skepticism, they're still trying to play that game of wait and see.
Cool. Okay, no more questions. Thank you very much. Oh, we do have one more. Yeah, this time.
Okay. Yeah, just a quick question is, do you see this at one point growing to not having to need the force or the energy to, give people sats to then spend? Could this grow to be self-sustaining?
Yes, the idea is there to create a self-sustaining aspect into the Soweto Bitcoin circular economy. Yes, we cannot always give, because when you always give, you create another aspect that you don't want, which is a dependency syndrome. So the kids, when they come, they are currently introduced to the idea of creating their own businesses. If they can have something, for instance, last time we had a child who bought ice cream to sell to his peers. We have another one who sells, for instance, high school kids, who sells watches, wristwatches. She's here. She sells to her friends. We have another one who does hair, braids and stuff. She's here. She does that to her friends. So we're trying to introduce business ideologies to them so that they can trade in sets.
Awesome. Thanks.
Thank you.
Lovely. Thanks for those questions. Thanks, Michael. Give him a warm round of applause. Thanks for the clicker.